Byron.
Oh my goodness.
Byron, meet Michael.
It's a pleasure to meet you in the flesh. You know, Tammy talks about you all the time. And I can say, girl, you didn't exaggerate one little bit.
Does someone want to tell me what the hell's going on here? Why am I watching a Denise Richards film from the 90s in the Mission Hub in full colour on the TV? It is a mind blower how many walls this game breaks. I am Couch Coop. This is my High on Life review, and I have to confess I'm a huge Rick and Morty fan. I know about Roiland's work, so this one I was fully geared up for.
Buck, Phil here, your divorce attorney. Let me fill you in on what's going on. An alien spaceship landed in your ex-wife's backyard. She fell in love with the leader, and it turns out they're all a hive mind, so she's fucking all of them. What are the odds? I know that's probably what you're thinking, but just get out there and kill him, Buck. That's all you can do. Over and out.
With that in mind, it still catches you unawares. You will be bursting out laughing at any given point in the game because every piece of dialogue, even the tutorial, even dealing with NPCs, is like the funniest thing you would have heard in a video game easily in the last 25 years, 20 years. I'm trying to fathom a video game that had this much comedy that hit home in it. There's very, very few.
Mr. Keeps dipshit. We're your friendly neighborhood pie shop. Buy something or don't, nobody even cares.
Job! I'm so sorry, Job.
So I continued playing this after doing my Witcher 3 PS5 review, and I had the mic on, the streaming mic on, so you got to hear my reactions on some of the lines. This was completely unintentional, and I was considering re-recording the front end of the video, but I want to leave it in because I'm a very difficult guy to make laugh, trust me, and so many of these jokes hit home. The thing with Justin is he sort of does this thing where he's like, "Hi, I'm Mr. Weeblesworth, and I want to be doing some weebling, and yeah, I've been weebling all day long." He sort of thinks of a funny name, comes up with a funny voice, and then just keeps pushing on it. It can wear sometimes, but there's more to that with this game.
Check this out. My mom smells like shit. Okay, you can't tell, but I just got an insane dopamine rush right now. Is it a sexual thrill? God, I hope not. But it might be. It really genuinely might be, and I'm gonna choose not to self-reflect on that any further. My mom stinks like shit. Fuck! I could do this all day. I'm practically vibrating.
I love it lands because Justin's obviously very into his video games, not as much as me, but he knows the difficulties that arise with making a game like this, and sometimes that's expressed in the tutorial dialogue. Absolute top-notch stuff.
I don't know if you do that. Try hitting the button on your screen. I can't say the name of the button because I have no fucking clue what kind of controller or keyboard you're using.
Now, with that said, Squanch Studios, which is a name from a character in Rick and Morty, is obviously his own thing, but he's got people in, I think, who really know how to make half-decent video game. Now, we need to address that now. This is in the vein of something like a Ratchet and Clank game, or Jack and Dexter, or even think Sunset Overdrive. Luckily, for me, I absolutely friggin' love those games. So this is right down the middle for me. Great dialogue, great writing, great gameplay, and great graphics. Running at 60 frames per second. I've got it on high. It goes to very high. Didn't sort of want to lose that frame rate, so I've kept it on high, and it's beautiful. Runs very smoothly. Kept a damn close eye on those frame rates, and this game could have really fallen over on that front because its visual fidelity is kind of selling it to people who aren't fans of this comedy material.
Damn, this crash ship, I'm telling you, full of ghosts.
But let's talk about the second selling point, and it's the talking gun, and that's what everybody saw at the Xbox E3 show. It is a really cool angle. Not the first time it's been done. We do have a few of them in Borderlands 3, just saying. But the first gun is done in the voice of Morty. Justin does two main voices, Rick, which is like the gruff granddad, and then Morty, which is like the adolescent, quite snappy, sassy kid, and it's really welcome to have him first and deliver some excellent lines, both to the NPCs and to the enemies. When you're shooting them, he gets fired up and really annoyed. He'll even come up with some suggestions about what to do, and his special fire comes out of a sort of orifice that's alluded to as being a little bit naughty. Talking of naughty, the knife is a no-holds-barred Australian psychopath. I need to look up who it's voiced by, but it is clearly very close to the line with what you're allowed to say and do in video games. This has really rocked my world a little bit because the language is so adult, some of the subject matter is really mature, and it's very refreshing to have it mixed in with all these sort of colourful graphics. You don't get that sort of depth in Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, kill him!
The dialogue is that funny for me that I'll look for situations that I can repeat, or I'll stay still to see if I can hear one-liners. And if you get back in that lift going down to Dreadtown, you get this absolute gold reference from Justin. And just as you think, oh man, this guy's really out of touch with his game design, he goes and says this about the diagonal elevator, and I was like, wow.
Oh boy, a big sideways elevator, original. You know, they had one of these in Akira. And I think Evangelion, you ever see those? Anime exists in space, you know. Did I tell you that already about anime? Space people love anime. We love all anime. It's considered taboo not to like anime in space. We even like that show Code Lyoko. You know that Cartoon Network show from like 20 years ago that kind of looked like anime except everyone had huge foreheads for some reason? Yeah, we liked it. You know what else had an elevator like this? I think Final Fantasy VII. Definitely, I think Chrono Trigger, Resident Evil 2.
As he's saying it at the start of the speech, I'm like, no, you've missed out Chrono Trigger, and there's one in Resident Evil 2, and sure enough, I'm like, wow, this is exactly where I need to be when it comes to playing a decent video game in 2022. Kind of glad this isn't coming out on loads of platforms, and also I would have mentioned it in my Game of the Year video. We've got this and Darktide that have come out almost mid-December, and they're both cracking games.
Let's give him a glob shot, right out of my trick hole.
Here are two things that are going to hurt. It's not hard enough, and there's only 5 guns in total. That's why I'm really holding back on showing you all of them, or some of them rather, because their dialogue is incredible. The second gun has got a time slowdown, an area effect, and a build, almost a sniper shot, changes up the gameplay massively. And going through these new portals, seeing a new planet like this with green waterfalls, and this guy turning up.
Welcome to Zephyr Paradise! Oh, fuck! A G3 Gretton! He'll tell the others, blast that sucker! Whoa, rude, never mind!
There's so much what feels like random encounters in it, but I imagine on my second playthrough I'll realise that it's a little bit more scripted than made out. But for my first initial campaign angle on its content, I'm so impressed with it, especially with its unlocks and secrets. There's like a Garbage Pail Kid equivalent where you have a whole catalogue and you're looking for these stickers. They've all got descriptions about their character. The game has a lot of incentive to go in, spend money, get cool new stuff. So it's got that RPG aspect that we probably desperately need, because all we're looking at when we land on the planets is technically running and gunning, maybe a little bit of platforming in there, but it's the dialogue and those beautiful weapons that keep you smiling. Once you kind of get past the first quarter and you get more than one weapon and you get knifey to do the traversals, you start doing specials and blending them in with the other gun powers and coming up with new solutions on how to deal with large groups of enemies. That's the cool part, is you can bounce them in the air and start shooting at them as they're flying around. But I want to see more variety on this front. You do in later game. There's guys that are big melee, brutish style mini bosses that come in. So far these guys in yellow suits are getting to me a little bit. I'm going to be very interested to see how this game performs next year and in the long run, and what Justin does with that studio, whether more comes out, DLC goes in, and what's going on with Microsoft and any exclusivity with this particular IP, because one thing it does feel is substantial enough to be built on. And I'm very keen to see what Endgame looks like and getting every single collectible, or even getting maybe a secret planet. The portal in the hub hints to not only doing bounties, but going back to revisited locations to sort of get all of those hidden secrets out of there, or maybe discover something else. So I think the environments are going to act nearly as much as a pull as the guns. I would also like to find out if this sends people over to Adult Swim and Rick and Morty after sort of getting a taste of that humour and that cool sci-fi angle. There isn't enough hard science in this also compared to the Rick and Morty series to sort of give it that gravitas. That's one of the things I do love about that cartoon. It's a bit like Star Trek with its ludicrous explanations, try and cling on a little bit to real-time science. It fails everywhere, but it's still fun to hear some of the explanations. As far as 90s Denise Richards films goes, I love this hub, and I'm probably going to watch the whole thing. You want to see me do some Coop, and just come over to the couch and couch gooch me around. As I say, I'm Couch Coop, always doing the couch cooping.
jump into my brain. Dinosaur music inside my brain.